My rich neighbor called the cops on me. Then he got arrested instead. I never thought posting on Reddit would change my life. But here we are. A few years ago, I moved into a small apartment next to this guy everyone in the neighborhood hated. He drove a different luxury car every week, yelled at people constantly, and acted like he owned the entire street. One morning, I walked outside and found a note on my car. "Move this junk. You're lowering property values." The thing is, my car wasn't junk. It was a completely normal sedan. I ignored it. A few days later, another note appeared. Then another. Then I started noticing weird scratches on my car. I bought a cheap security camera and pointed it at my parking spot. 3 nights later, the camera caught everything. At 2:13 a.m., my neighbor walked over, looked around, pulled out a key, and dragged it across the entire side of my car. I was furious. But instead of confronting him, I took the footage straight to the police. Here's where it gets crazy. The next day, before the police even contacted him, he called the cops on me. He claimed I was stalking and harassing him with cameras. Officers arrived at my apartment. He stood outside smiling like he'd already won. Then one officer asked if I had any footage. I handed them the recording. The smile disappeared immediately. The officers watched the entire video right there on the sidewalk. My neighbor started turning red. Then one officer asked, "Sir, is that you in the video?" He tried saying it was AI generated. Yes, seriously. He claimed I used artificial intelligence to frame him. The officer looked at him for about 3 seconds and said, "That's the worst excuse I've heard all year." Then things got even worse for him. While reviewing the footage, they noticed the license plate on the luxury SUV he was driving. Turns out the registration didn't match the vehicle. That led to another investigation. And another. A week later, police discovered he had fake plates on multiple cars and had been avoiding registration fees for years. He ended up facing charges that had absolutely nothing to do with me. The car scratches became the smallest problem he had. A month later, he moved out. No goodbye. No apology. Just gone. The funniest part? The last note he ever left on my car simply said, "You got lucky." I still have it. And every time I look at it, I remember that sometimes the people trying hardest to ruin your life end up exposing themselves instead. Not only was I not the jerk, I accidentally helped uncover a much bigger problem, like for part 2.